Ad Victoriam, I'm Brotherhood Bear, and I'm here to talk to you about some more important things. We are the Brotherhood of Steel, Operation Hope for Future, and we're trying to roleplay our characters in Appalachia. Can you spell Appalachia? I wanted to begin by talking about our group. We're not like other groups in Fallout 76. We're about roleplay.
Bob, are we really going to sit here all morning, man? The sun's already come up. You've had us crouched here all freaking night. Come on.
So if you're looking for a place to talk about Pokemon, or you want to farm the Scorch Beast Queen day and night, you're in the wrong place. Once a week we have our roleplay session, and then randomly we do play together once in a while. But most of our time is spent talking about our roleplay sessions and how to make them better. We all have real-life things we have to take care of, and there's many things in-game that we like to do that doesn't necessarily involve being in a group. We do like to help out once in a while, especially if it concerns the role-playing session, but what we really want are people who can take care of themselves. One thing about taking care of yourself is participating in this group. One of our actual rules is that you participate. This includes hanging out with us on Discord, and maybe even showing up for the roleplay session. If you find your schedule doesn't allow you to join us, then maybe this isn't a good fit for you at this time.
Redcliffe takes a couple steps back, and then shoulder charges it.
If you can't tell, we take our roleplay very seriously.
The crate bounces to the floor.
And that might not be for everybody. And that's okay too. Don't expect us to change things just because you don't like what's going on. Outside of the roleplay sessions, feel free to bring things up and they can be discussed. But once a decision is made, that's it. Another way you should be participating is being prepared. Information about the weekly session is usually up at least 24 hours beforehand. It can be really hard to organize groups in Fallout 76. Plan to be at the session at least 1 hour early. That gives us time to get everybody on a server, do all our audio checks, and make sure everyone's ready to go. Please don't show up at the last minute with no ammo, or without a clue as what we're doing for the day. You wouldn't show up at a tabletop session without a character and then expect everyone to wait while you make one. And if you are that guy, fuck you. These sessions are only once a week. If you want to participate, you should be on time. You should have all of your ammo and be ready to go. And you should make sure that your sound is set up for both TeamSpeak and area in-game. Taking care of a bunch of technical issues at the last minute spoils the fun for everyone. And it really screws up a very important aspect of this whole thing. Immersion. The immersion is what roleplay is all about. But sometimes we have to handle things out of character. The best way to do this is try and think of a way for your character to express what they need.
Permission to drink water real quick, sir?
This is probably the easiest way that you can do this. If you need a longer AFK, then we have Paladin Africa. Just explain that Paladin Africa is on the line for you and you need to stop and talk to him. When you get back, you could come up with an interesting thing he had to say to you, or say nothing at all. Sometimes issues get so bad that we have to stop everything altogether.
Carlson, you copy?
I do. All right, harmonica, harmonica, harmonica.
That's when we call code harmonica. When this code is called, everybody should stand still and stop role-playing. Situations that would call for code harmonica are griefers or dupers lagging a server. If you're feeling like we really need to stop the action, then try and bring it up in character. Code harmonica, sir? Gee, I really wish I could find a good harmonica. Once you voice an inquiry, wait for a decision to be made. There are a lot of things that happen in-game that really don't even need to be acknowledged. If someone disconnects during the run, try your best to ignore it. And when they get back, don't make a big deal about it. If you see something weird in-game, like a trash can flying across the road,
Was I the only one that saw that trash can roll by?
ignore it. Each player's game shows each person something different. So we might not be seeing what you're seeing and think you're freaking crazy. One of the best things to ignore is the Anderson children. or griefers. They want attention, and you shouldn't give it to them. You should stick to your roleplay.
Some sort of industrial accident, looks like.
Sometimes you can use the griefers to our advantage. If there's some way you can describe what they're doing that's good in roleplay, go for it. The game makes everybody do really weird things, like point their gun at the ground or stutter while they're walking. Sometimes the light on people's power armor is on, but nobody else sees it on except for one person. So try to think before you comment on something, and if nobody responds, drop it. If it really bugs you, save it for after the session. We're always willing to discuss things, like lore. Like I said, we take our roleplay very seriously.
Let's see if my years of running away from collapsing mine shafts helps me.
And we keep detailed track of our lore. Our lore is our story, and each part of that story is played out in each of our sessions. These sessions are planned out ahead of time so that we know what we're going to do. So if we're busy searching chests and making rolls, don't pull the super mutants at the steakhouse into a fight with us.
Enemies up ahead on the building. Engaging.
Do not engage that.
Do not engage.
Hold.
Be sure to remember that what you do during a roleplay session is history for our group and for your character. Keeping that in mind, we're going to move on to our next subject, the God Mod. God modding is when a player takes control of either the main story or another player's character, and it's really bad. Here's an example. Bob says Redcliffe has a bootlace untied, so Bob steps on the bootlace, tripping Redcliffe, allowing him to grab his shotgun, point it at Redcliffe's head, and make Redcliffe call him Daddy. Which is total bullshit. And most of what I should have said is, I checked to see if Redcliffe's boots are tied. He could decide not to play along, or he could play along, which would cause us to have contests to see if Bob could really take him down. If one of our comrades has fallen, and we're trying to get him to a bed to rest, don't scream really loud and say that you just broke your leg. Saying things in character that make us look bad, that really sucks too.
Get ready to fire.
I would, sir, but my pistol is broken.
I'm sorry, what?
I would, sir, but my pistol, it's been broken for about a week now.
And you chose not to tell us that beforehand?
I requested from Nick Carlson that it needed to be repaired, but we don't have the materials yet.
Don't blame the fact that you're not ready for a mission on the fact that we didn't have supplies to fix your weapons. These are all examples of taking charge of the story. They're also examples of people being selfish. Well, that's enough for this time. I'll be back ad Victorium.